Think back for a moment on how Jehovah supported his organization in ancient times. One example is Bezalel. Do you remember him? Jehovah appointed him to make furnishings for the tabernacle. That's quite a responsibility. But what experience did Bezalel have? His last job was making bricks in Egypt. While it is possible he had some other skills, how would he accomplish something as grand as the tabernacle? Exodus chapter 35 teaches us that it was Jehovah that gave Bezalel the wisdom and the understanding to do the work. Jehovah's earthly organization today faces similar challenges. The brothers that took the lead in setting up our first printery had no prior experience. And the same applies to brothers that produced our very first video. You will enjoy this archive interview with Brother Lyman Swingle, who was part of that very first video team. Brother Swingle was later appointed as a member of the governing body until he finished his earthly course in 2001.
The headquarters of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, a center of New World action.
We were given the instructions, well, why not make a film of world headquarters and what we do here and show it in film? Oh, I thought it was a great idea myself because I was interested in photography.
Bethel means the house of God. And
how many people would like to visit here and don't have the opportunity? And let them see what the New World Society is in action, because I think a tour through this place will give them the concept of the whole organization. They appointed a team of 3 to write a script, so they put this script together.
Just across the East River from all this...
There was a brother in Hollywood that was connected with the film industry. He was sort of an amateur photographer, and he was around them all the time and knew their techniques. It's like many other things a society does. They don't have professionals that do it. No, mostly they're brought in here and they learn. Maybe they have a brother like this brother that came here that knew some of the basics. We went over to New York and rented the lights and many of the equipment that was necessary. All he did is brought his camera here.
At his desk, the Society's president, Brother Knorr, gives his
We
secretary...
thought, well, it'd be best to start with the president's office and work down through copy, follow the copy through its various processes, how that we all work together for one purpose. One does one thing, someone does something else. Some work in the treasurer's office. Some have to be president, some have to be dishwashers and serve food. So it's like the organs in the body. Paul said, you know, the hand can't say to the foot, I have no need of you. We all need everyone.
Here is the publication of the New World Society. Jehovah has fed us through its pages, and he will continue to do so.
After they had shot it, well, then it had run longer taking it than they expected, and it got into the time of the convention. Then the brother says, oh, he says, why don't we take the convention and put it on here too? And so, well, why don't we do it in color? Color, those days, was really something, and that even gave the film a much bigger boost when they've been looking at black and white, and then suddenly they get a burst of color for the convention. They had the trailer camp where everybody camped out there, and the Yankee Stadium, and all of that in color. Oh, that really made a real climax to that picture, because you weren't used to seeing color except in the big theaters.
In the evening, the students told of life at Gilead and entertained with a pleasant program of songs from their native lands.
There were some very trying moments, wondering whether it's ever going to be completed, because after we shot it, the brother that shot it was going to edit it too. But something came up in his life, he couldn't do it. Now we're stuck, what are we going to do? So then the decision is, well, let's do it ourselves. We'd never done it before, but we'll tackle it and see what we can do. And we got a lab over in New York that we made a deal with them. Look, we'll give you the business to duplicate these if you will take somebody over there and show them how to edit this thing. So for a few weeks I went over there. It's like any project here. Every job here, for the average Bethelite that comes in, he doesn't know anything about running a press or washing dishes or anything else. We teach him, so that was just another job. You learn how to do it.
Amazing things, these, but it is Jehovah's Spirit that makes them possible. It is His work, not man's.
After we did the original, well, we started editing it, we saw there were some gaps in the film, not smooth dissolves from one department to another. And so the brother had gone away, so we rented a camera again on lights and so on, and came back and did it all on our own. The brothers here filled in some gaps so we could go from some scene to another scene real smooth like. One of those, it shows how do you get the paper from the docks up to the press room. See? So we had a scene where they're rolling the paper off the truck right into the camera. And then the next scene shows a roll of paper being rolled onto the press. And that made a nice transition from the docks where the paper comes in to the press room. And there were some others like that that we filled in later. It was a compliment to Jehovah's people putting out something like that back in those days. But it illustrates that you don't have to go off to college and get a high education to do something. If Jehovah's Spirit is upon it and blesses the project, many people have benefited from it. And it often, in my mind, throws back to what the brothers did when they made the photodrama Creation. They too were amateurs at it, but my goodness, look at the final product. But this one here was really the only film I think the Society made where they planned out a script, wrote the script, and then followed through in shooting it and editing it and producing it themselves. Just the same way today when the Society undertakes something, they strike out in open space and start flying. They never flew before, but maybe they have a few crash landings along the way, but they pick themselves up and get back up flying again.
The New World Society is indeed in action.
I think it's another example of how the Society has used technology and various features to further the advertising of the King and the Kingdom all down through the years.